Welcome to the Latura Post podcast. I'm Bailey, and this is our founder, Christine. If you're just kind of popping in, wanting to know what we've been up to, there is a first episode. This is our second episode. You can go find that on most streaming podcasts, or is it just Spotify right now?
Spotify and Apple.
Spotify and Apple, you can find it. And if you want to really dig more into what we're doing at the Latura Post, you can go to our website. It is www.latura.com. But yeah, this is our second episode. We're back. We're going to keep talking about some things revolving around the paper, some business things, and social media. And a lot of this is actually going to revolve around social media because we are heading into 2026. So we're going to take a quick look back at the latter half of 2025. We put out our first paper in September. And so we have September, October, November, and December out, with January about to go to press this week. This week.
Yes, Tuesday.
Yep. Yep. And you can still order that as of when this video goes live.
hmm
You can still
That'll be the
order.
last day,
Yep.
Monday the
Last,
29th.
okay, last day to order when you are listening to this, December 29th. And then you'll be able to find it in our archives.
Yes.
You can still order it. It'll just ship out weekly from there on out. So, yeah, let's take a look back. We're 4 issues in, and we have heavily relied on social media to
Yes.
market, to connect with people, I mean, that's where we have gotten in contact with half of our team, basically, that has come on. So, yeah, talk a little bit about so far in our business, how we've used it, what it's been good for, and maybe what it has not been so good at doing for us.
Yeah. I we very regularly come around to, oh, we're on social media as a newspaper. That feels ironic. And there's a lot of times where we're like, could we do this without social media? Just because we're basically anti-social media. So it feels a little funny sometimes. But we always end back up on we have to be on it in some capacity because if our whole mission is to get people off of social media and off of their phones more, we find those people through social media. It has been a massive resource in not just finding subscribers, I mean, that for sure, but also in, yeah, building our team. Our team started with people I already knew, good friends of mine. We've more than doubled at this point our team size, and that's all been through social media. Gals finding us and reaching out that they want to join, and it just being a well timed, really good fit. And so our paper would not be at the caliber it's at if it was just our original team. So that's like a huge thanks to social media being the connecting point. It's also been really, really special to be able to more genuinely connect with our subscribers through messaging, through seeing their shares, seeing pictures of them using it in their real life. I mean, we have had like many, many Instagram messaging conversations with our subscribers, and I love it. It brings me so much joy and drive, like, oh, this is why we're doing this. It's really impacting these people. And again, couldn't do that without social media. So those are probably the biggest positives for sure. If we didn't have new subscribers coming in, we couldn't keep doing this. Simple as that. So we have to find a way to get new subscribers, and it's the most efficient way. The negatives, oh, just having to get on social media, which we've tried to have. I think there's four of us who will kind of hop on and do different things. So it's more spread out. It's not all focused on one person. So it's not one person's being consumed by it. So that's been really helpful. Also, just like navigating, I don't know, the pressures of social media. it kind of convinces you that to be successful on social media, you need to have a certain amount of views, you need to run advertisements, you need to post regularly, do all these things. And so, kind of like fighting against those temptations has definitely been a downside.
Yeah, I mean, it's constant. You feel like you always need to be doing more,
Mm-hmm.
and you're never doing enough, and XYZ. But going back to the positives, yeah, if any of you have messaged the account, you are most likely talking to Christine.
Yes,
She loves talking to everyone that messages, and it's been so interesting to see how people use messaging. Like we have been it's been way easier for us to get in contact with people through messages than through emails.
for sure.
Just like kind of a weird, like I didn't know that that would be a thing, but it has been, and that's fine and great because it does feel a little bit more relaxed. It feels really casual. It feels like you're just
Texting a
messaging a
friend.
friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've gotten some
So,
audio messages,
yes.
which are so fun. I love
Yep.
audio messages.
Yeah. So that is really it's genuine. It's one of us. Like I said, usually Christine, if there's something that I can handle, I might take it, but I usually type like Bailey at the end. So we try to let you know who you're talking to because
Mhm.
it is important to us that we're communicating in a way that feels very friendly, genuine,
You're
like you're
talking
just hanging
to,
out.
yeah, you're talking to a person, a real
Yeah.
person. Yeah.
Yeah. So with those downsides, you kind of approach the team with an idea of getting off the team social or the Latura Post account for the month of January, but also all of us. Do you want to go
Yes.
into that?
Yeah. So Renee, our lead writer, was actually the one who more so planted that idea. You can, if you have a December issue, you can read her little write up. She has a small little column for New Year's, and she made a comment in it about how last year she went personally had gone off social media for the month of January. And it was very helpful in just getting her mindset just really solid, like going into a new year. Just a nice little brain cleanse, I guess. And I read that and I was like, we absolutely need to do this because though we have taken lengths to kind of help ease the burden of social media, it still is. There's still days where I'm probably more consumed by it than I should, if I'm honest with myself. And I don't want that. And so I think just having some extended time, speaking for myself, but also I'm sure this applies to the rest of our team, just to really focus on what's actually in front of us and making sure like the foundations within our homes and families are really solid, especially in a month where you just are inside a little bit more, close quarters, and it's post holidays. Like, I just think it can be a really beneficial month to really focus on foundational things and not have all that noise in the background.
And this is a thing that we have talked about wanting to do. Not there's no like goal behind it. It's really just like a personal like cleanse. And
I want to breathe a little bit.
yes. And when you're in this industry, you and I have both been photographers. We've been just around this creative industry for a long time. It's hard to step away and you have to kind of sort out like what are actually my ideas and what have I just seen a lot
Yeah.
of. And like the trends and the viral things. Like when you step away and you kind of just go into your little cocoon, your own brain, you realize your creativity comes back. You have this refreshment of ideas. And I think you and I mean, I've experienced that in my life being in the creative space, and I'm just really excited now as like a collaborative thing with other women to really step into that. I think that'd be
Mhm.
really fun.
Yeah. I think our whole team having a clear head to work on some of the things we have going in the background, the ideas, the seeds of ideas we've planted, to work on those in a very clear-headed way, I think will have a lot of benefit. What you had said about what you just said about seeing other things and you don't know what's your own thoughts and what's actually just subconscious you're reaping from other people's
Hmm.
creativity. And that is such a danger of social media. And it's so easy to convince yourself that your ideas are original. And I mean, to be fair, is any idea actually original?
Yeah,
Probably not.
I agree with that. I agree with
And
that.
probably not.
We're part of the collective.
Right. And though that is the case, there's also the case of you see someone else's success, you go, I want to be successful. I'm good at what they're doing, so I should do something like that. It's really easy to piggyback. Is that a right, maybe the right term?
Yeah.
Of like, oh, I would be good at that, which is true, but you maybe pull more threads than you would have liked to. And you convince yourself of this false success, and usually it falls flat because it wasn't actually what was in your heart of hearts. And I will say, back to last episode talking about how Latour started with clothing, I think there was a little bit of that there, if I'm honest with myself.
Yeah.
So I think with the paper, that's been something that's very regularly in my mind as to I want this to feel as true to me as possible. And I think at this point, I have felt like we've done a pretty good job. And so now that I'm seeing myself, I'm a little on social media, a little more than I want. I need to just pull back.
Yeah. And it gives us time to lean into what other people are good at because the paper, especially, we rely heavily on finding the people who are the best at what they're doing. It does take pressure off you to not feel like you have to do everything and do it really, really well. And so using social media to find those people is really great. But now we've found a really great group and we can step back and be like, okay, what can we really make together? And that is a joy. It's so fun. I know you
Yeah.
just kind of touched on it, but
Yeah. And like we have said, like a lot of our team has come in very, very recently. Our team is a baby. And so just now that we're getting the necessary positions filled to kind of hunker down and really get our systems set and
Mhm.
building on each other's ideas and skills. And yeah, I think that'll be way easier to do when I don't have to check Instagram.
So what are some things that you're looking forward to doing personally, like maybe a craft or a hobby or reading, I don't know, whatever. And in the work that you're going to do, what are some things that you're really looking forward to diving into?
Personally, I was just thinking about that I need to think about what I want to do. So I'm sure some ideas will bud yet, but I know one thing is I was just telling my husband that for Christmas, my Christmas present this year, I want him to go get me a Facebook Marketplace piano. And I want to get back into it. I was classically trained from like, I think I started at 5, 6, somewhere in there. And by the time I graduated high school, I was pretty good. And I've definitely gotten pretty rusty. We just haven't had a piano for a while with moving so much. So now that we're more settled, I'm like, I go get me a piano. I want to get back into this.
Yes, send me
So
videos.
yeah, it'll be rusty for sure.
It's okay.
Yeah. So that's probably the big one. And just playing with my kids, just trying to do better at doing nothing but just sitting and playing with them. It doesn't have to be complicated.
What about work?
Well, the biggest thing is that we are our goal for our team January and February is we're going to work ahead a little bit on issues. So we're going to be working on 3 or 4 issues at the same time. So that will be a heavier workload for sure. We also have a soft launch new website in the works, which you won't hear much about that in January just because we won't be on social media.
Yep.
So our goal is to launch that in February. So a lot of behind the scenes things with that. We are going to try and release a few more podcasts weekly is the goal for the month of
Mhm.
January. Yeah, I would say those are like kind of the main things on the task list for January.
Yeah. I'm psyched for the new website.
Yeah,
It's
it's
gonna be
so cool.
so good.
Claire, our graphic designer, and Kaylin, our lead artist, they are, mm, it's going to be so good. So, so, so good.
Talked about this before, especially in the first podcast, and just in our team a lot about the paper being non-stimulating. This is a like really ties into our social media views. We think it is just completely overstimulating. It's too much noise, too much color, too much, click, 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 next, next, next. To talk a little bit more about the paper, and if people are really, really trying to get off social media, what you feel like we can offer them through this paper, and what you think they will find and maybe even feel as they kind of move away.
I think that the good things of social media are, I mean, we just are naturally drawn, as humans, we're drawn to beauty and we want to see it. And I think that social media has a lot of really, really, really beautiful work. And so we see those things and then we go, I want to see more. And so then you scroll through all the junk to get to more, but then next thing you know, it's been an hour. So through our paper, if we can bring you just those beautiful things and get rid of all the junk, then you're not wasting so much time and you're not filling your brain with things that you probably didn't even want there in the first place, but they ended up there. And so that is what we are hoping to do with our newspaper is curating the best in a collected, very, calm, pleasing, black and white, non-stimulating way. And so we're pulling the good out of social media so that if you want to go take a month's break or 3 months or a year or for good, there could be an alternative, which would be the newspaper.
And talk about how it's an alternative because I think people think of newspapers as there's going to be news, like current events, whatever in it. We kind of put a twist on that by pulling more so wisdom, beauty, knowledge, things that we felt would be really important to the shared collective of women and people who just really want those things and want to learn from other people, but maybe don't want to scroll. Talk about that. Yeah, and just kind of what makes our paper a little bit different.
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely not a traditional newspaper. We are, there's threads that we pull from your traditional newspaper, but yeah, we're just doing our own thing. We're making it up as we go, I guess.
Yeah.
Like truly. And yeah, there's not news. There's not current events. I think if you want to see those things, it's very, very easy to access those things. And so we didn't feel like we needed to put it in our newspaper. And yeah, it's just like you said, collective wisdom, beauty, things that can apply to a large range of ages, locations, peoples, cultures. And some people might lean more towards certain pieces, some people more towards others. That's why we try to have a variety of things. And yeah, I just really do believe that it can be an alternative to social media. I mean, that you could get off and get a newspaper and still have enough information there to add inspiration and value to your life without the junk.
And it's a way to like really truly connect with other people's art. Social media, you just scroll, scroll, scroll. I don't think you have time to sit and take it in.
Mm-hmm.
And that has been really cool. We have a ton of art, ton of poems, ton of really good writing. So it definitely allows you to just experience it
And
really
learn
lean
their
in.
name, learn the artist and
Yeah.
the creator's name. I think so often on social media, you see something and you scroll right by it. You don't even know the person's name. And yeah, we put everyone's name and their state or country that they live in just so that there's some, I just think you feel connected to people who live near you. And it also shows the vastness of what a community of women can look like in a healthy
Mm-hmm.
way.
Mm-hmm. And you, going back to what you said earlier about scrolling and like pulling threads of other people's work and then putting out something that maybe had a lot of those threads, I think that if you are going to be inspired by someone, it is important to know their name, know where they're from. And that is totally like inspiration is great. Get inspiration from other artists, from other writers, whatever. But yeah, to like connect a name and a place and be able to give due credit or just be able to tell other people about them because they inspire you, I think is really important
Mhm.
and a really cool piece of the paper to see people connect. And you've had a ton of people say, like, hey, I'm also from
Mhm.
your area and reach out. And yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I've had some people reach out to me personally. They're like, hey, I live in your area, which is just, it's so fun. And I don't know, maybe we'll do something with it someday because we are starting to get large collections of people. I know as I'm entering addresses in of new subscribers, I'll see like, oh, I've seen someone who lives in that town and it's not even a big town. So I just think it's so fun. Like on our
Mhm.
way to my parents, I'm currently at my parents. We drove and stayed at a hotel in a town. And I was like, oh, I have subscribers in this town.
Wait, that's insane.
Yeah. So I
In,
just Columbia, Missouri.
oh, funny. That is awesome.
So I just
Yeah.
thought it's just so fun.
Yeah. I love that. Do you want to talk about phone usage in general? Like we've hit on social media, but we actually have an article coming out in the January paper about the light phone. I don't know if you guys have heard about it, but it's not a dumb phone. It's just like a simple phone, I'd say. Very, you have it. Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, I have the light phone. Another member of our team has it, our photographer Peyton. And also I learned one of our proofreaders' husbands has it as well. So three
Oh,
people
that's
on
so
it.
cool.
Yeah. So I have been eyeing it for I think since the one was out, the first generation. It's all black and white. It's that kind of like paper matte look. And there's no infinite feeds. That's kind of like their cutoff. So there's no social media, email, internet, but it has your basic tools, directions, calculator, timer. There's podcasts, and you can download your own music. And one of my biggest holdups personally in not getting it was one, the price. It isn't, I mean, it's a phone. Any technology is going to be an investment. Also, it didn't have a camera at the time, and I just like to take pictures of my kids. So I kind of have had my eye on it for a couple years, and their newest one, the Light Phone 3, has a camera that came out sometime this year, I think.
Yeah.
And so I was eyeing it again, and then my iPhone, I don't know how old it was, 6 years old. It was old, and it was really going out. And I was like, I do not want to buy a new iPhone. That just does not feel right to me. And I love it. I've had it since September. And yeah, it's just, you're not tempted to just go on your phone and do things. I probably have a 20-minute screen time a day at most.
Yeah. When I was talking to Joe Hollier, Hollier, you want to go with? I think that's how you say it, his last name. He was like, yeah, we don't want something that you constantly need to check.
Mhm.
And I've like kind of been paying attention to myself and I'll check my phone, going to my phone, like I need to know the time and I'll check it and then I'll go back to what I was doing. And I'm like, I did not look at the
Right.
time because I had a notification or I had whatever, or I just looked at the picture of my dog on the home screen and I forgot to actually look at the time. So I think that's a good point about we do so many mindless things with our phone. we spend so much time just looking at it for what? Like, I don't know.
Mhm. You'll just find yourself on it.
Yeah.
Now it's like you go to check the time and then you open it, and the next thing you know, you've been on Instagram for 30 minutes.
Yep.
You're like, what am I doing?
Yeah. Or deep down in the internet for no reason. Like he made a comment about having a light phone or just having no phone in general really creates some friction because you can't then go to the internet right away and look up the answer to your question, but you can sit and think about it and come up with a possible answer and then test your answer kind of.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, I love that because I definitely just go to my phone. I'm like, oh, I need an answer. I'll just find it really quick. But like the crazy thing is now with how search engines work, it just gives you like it could be the wrong answer, but it's
Mhm.
the answer that most people say is right or go with or whatever or want to hear, but it's wrong. And so I've been thinking about that a lot in social media and how all these quick hits and viral things, there's a lot of just flat out wrong information
Yeah.
out
I
there.
think we as a culture have, my husband and I talk about this all the time. Our culture has just lost this sense of wonder. We
Yep.
aren't able to just sit with something and go, I don't know. Like,
Hmm.
we are not good at that.
Yeah.
And, or even to like read a piece of information and go, I don't agree with that. I don't know what the right answer is. That's okay. I'll sit and think about it. Like, that just does not exist. And my husband and I have really made efforts to, when we have a question about something random, more like really deep questions, we'll just ask each other, and then we'll just go back and forth, sometimes for a couple hours, for a couple days, for a couple months, and just tease out different ideas. And it's so much fun to not just hop on Google and, well, most people say this or most people say that. Like, just to kind of live in the wonder a little bit and be like, I don't have to know everything. There's actually no benefit to me knowing the right answer. And maybe it's not even the right answer.
Yep. And I think we're a society that's very uncomfortable with not having an answer,
Yeah.
like just not having the knowledge of a certain thing. And that's why we get so much info that's just wrong. And I think that is very important to just sit with, I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
and may never know. But that's where you really get to go deep into yourself and into your experiences and your, yeah, just your knowledge and assess like,
Mm-hmm.
is that something that I want to dig into?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Um,
And also with that, also a willingness to admit that what you thought before was wrong.
yeah,
There have definitely been times in my life where I look back and I go, I definitely think about that differently now. And I don't think that was right, but that's okay because that's what growth is. I'm not annoyed with myself for having thought that. And I mean, I think the same thing goes, even just like then applying that concept to our newspaper, is we are posting, we are
publishing.
publishing. Gosh, we are publishing pieces, brands, recommendations that at that time we genuinely love. There are times maybe we'll go back and read an episode. Oh my word.
An article.
We'll go back and read an article and go, but like, I think we need to be willing to be like, that's okay. That's what growth is. We can't have everything right. No one's going to be right 100% of the time. There's human error. And I would hope our readers can come into our papers having that mindset of maybe they're at a different point in the journey of thinking about a specific topic. They don't agree with something, and then they just move on. It doesn't have to be this whole, well, I don't know if I ever want to read a paper from them again, or I don't know what it's just like, just take it and leave it. And
Yep.
that's the same, that's for our paper, that's for social media. That's for talking to your grandma. That's like, that's just like a general skill that I think we collectively could be a little better at.
Hmm. Something I love about the paper is that there's no comment section.
No.
You can't say, "Oh, I disagree," or whatever, which again forces you to sit with it and really think through, why don't I agree with it? Where are they coming from? How can I come around to this? Or maybe I just need to move on. Read it. It was not for me. Move on.
And that's really our goal when choosing the pieces we have is I mostly just want to provoke people to think. Whether you agree with it and then you go and change something in your life and do something differently, or you disagree with it, but then you disagree with it, you sit and you think about it, and then you do what you think is right for your life. So just because you disagree with something doesn't mean it won't have benefit for your life, because what it will do is just provoke you to think deeper about what you believe. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
And also, though, the matriarch section,
Yeah.
this is why it's so important because they have seen the changes of life and the cycles of going through thinking like, oh, I know everything to like, oh, I know nothing. Like they've lived that.
Mm-hmm.
It can offer us so much. So yeah, again, I said this last episode, read that
Yeah.
section. And if now we put out on Instagram, we're kind of wanting to open that up to the community. If you have someone in your life that has lived a lot of life that you think would be really good at sharing their wisdom, or if maybe they have something that they really love and want to talk about, email us.
Yeah.
We will.
And we typically have them in written and interview style, but it's a written interview. It's not a talking interview. So it's a lot less pressure. So we'll, based on what we are told about the person or what they tell us about maybe a topic they would enjoy talking about, we will compose the questions, send them over, they'll fill it out. And that's what goes into the paper. So if you do nominate someone, like even if it's your 85-year-old grandma, like she could write it out. It's really, really low pressure. Yeah. And going back to the light phone interview, one thing I was going to bring up and went by was another reason I finally took the jump and purchased the light phone for myself was I got to a point where I wanted to be inconvenienced. That was worth it to me. I realized that I had a smartphone for, I don't know, not even 10 years, probably less than 10 years. But I think that's a long time. And I think I was just so in the rut of bad habits that I was like, I need something inconvenient to pull me out of it, give me a taste of reality. And I got to a point, I mean, some of my holdups had been like, well, if I have to drive somewhere where I don't know where I'm going, if I need to search an address, if I need to, you convince yourself things. Oh, if I go into a store and I want to scan my code, like you tell yourself I need those things.
Mm-hmm.
And I just got to a point where I do not care. I Now when I go, I mean, the maps on the light phone work not as well as Google Maps, but they will get you there. Your main stores you can search the name of and they'll come up. Little places won't come up. I will plan out where I'm going and I write down the addresses on a piece of paper and I bring the piece of paper with me. And it's actually so refreshing. I actually love it.
Yep, I love that.
um and I just don't scan codes when I go places. I'm like, what? I'll save $5. I can live without it. It's worth it to me.
Right.
So I just, man, it has just been really honestly refreshing to be inconvenienced. But I also think that's a mindset you have to be ready for. And it
Yeah.
took me a couple of years of thinking about it before I actually took the jump. So,
Yeah. In that article, if you guys read it, he talked a little bit about friction and how frictionlessness is like it's a it's not real and like it's boring. It would be so boring if we never faced problems to solve. Like
yeah.
think about
And it's probably
your
that's
favorite.
it. That's why
Yeah.
we're on social media is because we're bored.
Yes. We're bored.
Sorry, I
We
cut
have,
you off.
yeah, no, no, you're good. We have no like side quests. We have nothing to like really problem solve. And I just think back to some of my favorite times in my life. It's needing to problem solve
Mhm.
or where things really went wrong and a smartphone or like a convenience or a technology could have solved it. And we didn't have it. And so we had to solve it. I have a funny story that I'm going to share
Yes, I
that
want to hear it.
could be, I think, connecting. Anyway, my husband and I were in Vienna, Austria, and we flew in really late at night. I had booked an Airbnb, and she was like, "Hey, I'm gonna leave a key at this bakery. Just go ask this guy for the key to the apartment." I'm like, "Okay, great." They speak Dutch, by the way. Pretty sure. Could be wrong on that. Or German? I need to figure that out. But they don't speak English. And so we get to this bakery, we go in, it's like 1 a.m. maybe. And we're like, hey, do you have a key? And he's like, what? No, no. And we're like, key, like put it in the lock. We're trying to like act it out. Key. And he's like, no, no, I have no quiche. No, we don't want quiche. We do not need quiche at 1 a.m. We need a key to an apartment. And like a translator tool would have been really, really helpful at that time. But we just didn't have it. And luckily, a guy came over and was like, hey, I speak English and their language. Like, I can help you. Which we're like, great. He helps us, he translates, which was very kind of this guy at 1 a.m. again in a foreign country. And we figure out that he indeed has no key. And so we are now like left on the streets of Vienna at 1 a.m. Can't get a hold of the booking lady. It was a mess, but like when we look back, we tell that story so often. We laugh so hard because then we're like, what do we do? And we have to just figure it out. We have to walk into hotels and ask, hey, do you have a room? A couple of them told us no. And so we are again just walking around, hey, do you have a room? Do you have a room? Finally found something. But yeah, if technology, if we could have just had a piece, a device to like seamlessly figure that all out, it would have been not a funny story, in
No,
my
you would have been
opinion.
just been sitting on your phone for 30 minutes in the
Yes,
bakery.
exactly. And that Joe made that point. Like, what is life if you're just sitting there waiting for it to come to you
Mhm.
and like waiting for it to just happen to you? That's really, really, really boring. And
Yeah. Similar, another, we're just doing story time today.
yep, I love it.
The story that pops into my head, which I will preface with, there probably could have been some wiser decisions made in the situation. All
Fine.
is well. We're
Yeah.
fine. But a friend of mine and I think we were 18, 19, 17, 18. We went to Iceland, just us, kind of on a whim.
That's so young.
Um, well, okay, it's her name's Jessie Young. If any of you should go look her up on Instagram, she's a blast. She will just hop on planes and go places, and I love her. She's the true definition of spontaneous. No one else in my life is that. Yeah, she's true definition of spontaneous. But we went to Iceland. We had booked an Airbnb. We're like, we're just gonna stay in this little area, kind of see the sights. That's it. Within a day, we're like, there's way too much to see. We cannot just stay here. And so we're like, we'll just sleep in our car. It'll be fine. We were in like one of those like mini smart cars, and that's what we slept in. Well, we get to the east side of the island, which, if anyone's been to Iceland, you know there's nothing there. There absolutely nothing. We parked on the side of the road in the dark. Let's go to sleep. Went to sleep. Woke up, car wouldn't start.
Oh.
No phone service, no people, no towns, nothing.
Oh no.
It was like 6 a.m. We're like, wow, we just woke up in the most beautiful place I've ever seen, but it's, yeah, not good. So we get out of the car and we just start walking. We're like, we'll find someone eventually.
Oh my.
And I mean, yeah, it definitely will say the Lord's hand was over us. We were good.
How far did you walk?
We probably walked. Well, okay, so then we kind of came over the hill, and then because when we woke up, because we got there in the dark, didn't know where we were. When we woke up, there was this huge bay that we were parked near, like the ocean. Stunning. We go over the hill, we see a little farm out in the distance. So we probably walked, I don't know, a mile and a half. And as I'm going up this person's driveway, I'm just praying, like, Lord, let this be a good person. And they come down the driveway, and I'm just like, okay, here we go.
Oh gosh.
Super kind man taking his son to school.
Oh.
You could tell he was like, you're an idiot. Like, I don't care, just jumpstart my car.
Oh my.
And so, yeah, he jump started our car and we were off. And yeah,
See,
definitely did not have phones.
you would never have experienced that though if you just looked at other people going to Iceland. If you're like, oh, that looks so fun. Hopefully someday I'll go. Like you never would have experienced that.
Yeah, we just went
And
for it.
yeah,
And we
I love
didn't have a phone to call anyone.
yeah,
I mean, we didn't have any service even. So it was just,
yeah.
here we are. So
Yep.
that
Love it.
was, that's my story.
Yeah, I think even just looking back on like, I don't know, the last 5, 6 years of my life, I got married 6 years ago. And so, because I used to just also jump on planes, I would, you know, do things because you're young and you're
Mhm.
not tied to anything. And when we got married, I mean, we were both in school and then he kept going to school and I was working. And so you all of a sudden are just like realizing that you're watching other people live their lives through social media. And like I would scroll, 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 and I'd be like, oh my gosh, I wish I was going to this party, or I wish I wish my friends did that together, or I wish Nick and I did that together. And eventually I just realized like I'm quite unhappy and wanting to, or like I would see people knit and I'm like, I want to learn how to knit. I want to learn how to play the piano, but I just wouldn't do them because I would be scrolling.
Mm.
And Nick would get home at the end of the day and I'd be like, oh, I had such a long day. I, I was scrolling. I did not have a long day, but it was like an emotionally taxing
So it feels like a long
experience.
day. It's like a
Yes.
false long day.
Yes. And it was so taxing. And I finally was like, I need to make different choices. And this paper, I would say, like working on this has really helped me get out of that and put your energy towards something that means something. And I just feel like a lot of people are lacking that, like a
Mm.
something that drives them, but also just fun things. Like I did finally learn how to knit and I love it. Like I don't know if I would have ever actually done it if I wouldn't have put my phone down.
Yeah.
And now I enjoy it a ton.
Hmm.
And what if I just never had found that?
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I don't know.
isn't the average American screen time like 6 or 7 hours? I think
Yeah,
I saw. I
which
could
is
be wrong. But,
insane.
and yeah, that's not 6 hours in one go, but it's actually worse. I think that it's start and stop because it means you can't focus on any task, on learning how to do anything. And I mean, I just even think about my own personal life. I mean, I was never at 6 hours, but definitely more than I wanted to be. And I think I'm max an hour. And the majority of that is work.
Hmm.
And I do that while my kids are napping in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, that's why I'm like, I want to get a piano and I want to get back into it. because you have you have so much time. You have the brain space because there's not that false sense of it's been a taxing day.
Yep.
And even like you said with the newspaper, one of my desires in wanting to start a business of some sort was I was like, I think I'd actually be more productive and in a better mood and mindset if I had something I was working for. Like, I have 3 kids. I was just at home with my 3 kids and doing nothing. And I was like, yes, I will be busier, but I think it'll be better for me just because I think, especially women, are just, we are creative beings. We're made to create. And yeah, now that we've been in this newspaper, I'm probably working, if I added it up, full-time hours. I am more present with my kids than I was before. And in a better headspace and mood. I'm motivated. It's just when you're doing things that are actually life-giving, you just want to keep going.
Yep.
Yeah.
It is insane the power of working towards something and I think working together.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's something that I never really experienced in my professional life. Like I had done a lot of creative things, but a lot on my own. Photography, I worked at a cheese shop where I worked with someone, but largely on my own.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is something that you don't see a lot for young entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
They're doing a lot of it alone.
Mm.
We're very lucky. I'm very lucky to be part of this team and how many people have connected to it
Mm.
in a really, really deep way.
Yeah, because
I mean, you
I
can
mean,
talk
because
more about that, but
yeah, we don't only just, I mean, yes, we're talking to our team day in and day out, which has been so much fun. But not only that is we are talking to our guests, we're talking to the brands we're interviewing, we're talking to just so many behind the scenes type individuals. And yeah, we like, I talk to so many more people and it's personal. The subscribers through Instagram messages. It's just, it's not like, because Instagram gives you that kind of false sense of community. Oh, I saw a lot of people doing things. Where was the connection? And I am personally just thankful for what has been created in my personal life for me to genuinely connect with many, many people and in a way that's just really, really fulfilling.
oh yeah.
So, and like
So
obviously, unfortunately, not everyone can join our team.
yeah, unfortunately, seriously, because
Yeah,
we'd have like 100-person team and that would be awesome.
I
We're kind
will
of maxed
just
out.
side note anyone who has reached out to join our team. It truly means the world. And if I could, I would say yes to everybody.
Hmm.
I'm not one who likes to say no. But all that to say, for someone listening to this and say, I want something like that, get creative, get off your phone for a month, think of something. Like, I think not everyone's community connectedness is going to look the same. Everyone's is going to look different, different seasons of life based on where you live, based on the age of your kids. Like there's just so many factors. It's not going to look the same for everyone. And I felt the not I felt like I didn't have it and I created it. And yeah,
Hmm.
and it took time and there are certainly hard things about it because anything relational there's going to be hard things for sure. But it's just so much more fulfilling. And so I guess our challenge to with us getting off of social media for the month of January, we really want to challenge our subscribers and our followers to do the same to in some capacity. There's a couple members of our team who have their own separate businesses and they still need to be on those forms in some way more drawn back mindfully. But think about your life, think about what's a way that I could be more conscious of my screen time, social media time, whether that's getting fully off, whether that's setting better parameters around it, and just really challenge yourself to think of how you can find ways to genuinely connect with your family, with people in your immediate community, and maybe some long distance friends. Like, I mean, really, the options are endless. Like, send a letter, send a package, go send an encouraging email to maybe someone that you have followed for a long time and loved. Like, they would probably so appreciate just like a genuine email as to like why they have influenced you in a positive way. I just I think there's again, the options are endless.
Yeah, truly. Sometimes that email is almost like better than the sale because
Absolutely.
we all want to be seen and known and appreciated like for what we're doing. So yeah, I think those emails have kept us going because there's times where it's been hard. Like
Mhm.
we've hit walls where we're like, oh, like I don't know. I don't know if we can fix this or work past this or whatever it might be. And so, especially for you, I know that's been like huge to get super, super kind emails.
Oh my goodness. I personally take everything way too personally. The good and the bad. So the bad just really gets to me because I just so genuinely from the bottom of my heart just want the people that I cross paths with to be positively affected. And so then when on the flip side, then when I do get something positive, it truly has great impact for me personally. Even I personally have the newspaper has been a beautiful, wonderful place for myself to do these things I'm talking about. I've been able to reach out to women who I deeply respect and who have genuinely impacted my life without knowing it. I've been able to reach out to them because of the newspaper and make a connection. And it means a lot to me too. And I'm sure just to be able to say, like, hey, I think if, anyone who's in more of an influencer role on social media, they they probably get occasional like small messages, but like how often do they get like the you're actually impacting my life? And I just think that I think there's probably very few people out there who that wouldn't have a positive impact on. So,
Right.
yeah, I don't know, just encouraging people to, I don't know, share their thanks and share their gratitude with the people who have affected their lives.
Yeah, genuinely connect. Which we do have ways that you can connect with us even as we're off social media in January. We have a PO box. You can send us a letter. You can send in your subscription money as well if you'd like to do it that way.
Mhm.
We'll probably just put the address in the show notes.
Yeah, I can put it in the show notes. It's on our social, I think it's on an Instagram highlight. It's on our website. It's a couple places. It's on the back of a paper, the back
Yep.
page of the paper. It's on.
Yep.
And it comes to me. I'll be the one who receives those. And so, yeah, please write us. Send your
Mhm.
subscriptions. We've had a couple people mail in their subscriptions, and it's a joy. It's such a
Yes.
pleasure checking my PO box and there being something in there.
Yep. We can even scan in art. We can scan in written pieces. We can like whatever
Mhm.
ideas you have floating in your head, try it out.
Yeah.
We're down to try stuff too. So you
Hmm.
can connect with us there. You can connect through email. We'll put our emails in the show notes. How else? Podcasts.
The podcast, yeah, our goal is to have a weekly episode every week of January. So you'll get, including this one, which is December 29th, we'll be releasing them on Mondays, I think is the goal. So there'll be 5 of them in a row. So little treat for you. I don't know what it'll look like after that,
Okay.
but for the month of January, You get 5.
We don't even really know what the month of January is going to look like.
No,
We have
yeah.
ideas. We just don't, we never know what's going to come out.
No. We're
Um,
kind of on the fly type of people.
yeah. And we just talk a lot. So this is
Yeah.
great.
You
Well,
can you can connect with us through our Spotify playlists. Just that's not direct, connection, but that's just a piece of us. Um, what
read
else?
the same books that we're reading. We do,
Yeah.
yeah, we put book recommendations, song recommendations, even we've done movies. So like that is a genuine, we're reading and watching and listening to those things that month.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, we could all watch something together on our in our own little spaces, but know that you're connected to someone else just through a recommendation, really. And that's
Mhm.
like what friendship is. The shared recommendations and love of different things. So,
Yeah, which we also take recommendations within our community pages. So I mean, we have like our team recommendations, but if you are like, I just read this book and it changed my life, send it in, share it with
mhm,
your readers. So yeah, think about the community pages because as we said, we are going to be working a couple issues ahead. So we need a larger influx of community submissions.
mhm.
Um, so yeah, take a social media break. Think about some of those things.
Yeah. And if you want, you can drop us questions in the comments of this
Yes.
podcast, or you could email them to us, but we would love to answer questions that you guys have for us. That could be
Mhm.
Christine's favorite color, all the way to how she runs this business, literally anything. We're
Yeah.
open books.
Yeah, put it
So,
in the comments. And also, you should comment if you're joining us in a little social media break. We'd love to hear.
yeah.
And obviously, we can't see that on social media. So,
Yeah. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see because there's obviously going to be times I think that I'm going to be like, oh, what do I do?
mhm.
Or like I'll go to my phone and because I'm just going to delete the app. So
Yes.
it'll be
Yeah.
interesting. I'm
Yeah.
excited.
It really, to me, it feels personal, like on a personal level, I'm just excited. On a business level, it feels like a real leap of faith, to be honest.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
To be able to intentionally step away from what has been bringing us the most subscribers. That's going to be a little leap of faith. I think for me personally, I think it's going to be a a good muscle to exercise.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. So we'll see you all next time.
Yeah, next week.
Next week. Thanks for hanging out, listening, sharing, loving it. We feel it and we appreciate it.